Welcome to episode 503 of the Recruitment Marketing and Sales Podcast. And I'm your host, Denise Oyston. And today I want to talk about the marketing channel that many recruiters really do underestimate. And it's a channel that will give you the highest ROI of anything you're currently doing and will continue to work even in this crazy AI world we're all inhabiting. So let's get into it. Welcome to the Recruitment Marketing and Sales Podcast. An obsessive focus on marketing and sales is the only way to accelerate your company growth. So listen in now as we share the latest strategies and techniques guaranteed to deliver you more placements and profits. Well, hi there everyone, this is Denise. Hope you and yours are well, and hopefully you guessed the marketing channel that we are talking about today, and that is email marketing. Now, please do not switch off and think, oh, I know all this already. Please stay with me, because what I've noticed a lot is that owners either aren't doing email at all, or they're doing it in a way that will never build them a pipeline. And we're just actually we're actually creating a brand new training product. So I've let the cat out of the bag there. I think you might have seen a couple of comments on social about it. And we're doing a whole new focus on building your pipeline engine. And I think one of the things that people forget is how powerful email is. It continues to be and isn't going to change anytime soon. So they're missing out on so much. And that's what I really want to change today. So what I'm going to cover first up, why most recruiters do get email completely wrong. And I do mean most. Then we're going to look at why, when you check the data, email beats every other marketing channel hands down when it comes to ROI. After that, I want to talk about something that's a massive advantage for you as a recruiter, which is that you've basically got two audiences, clients and candidates, and you can be talking to both at the same time. And finally, I want to just share what separates the people who get results from the ones who send a couple of emails, hear nothing back, and give up. Now, why does most email marketing in the recruitment sector miss the mark? And I want to start with something really important, and it's a distinction that I think it's the single biggest reason most businesses aren't getting results from their email. So send an email and you send an email. Very few of you run campaigns, and that difference is where the opportunities really sit in, because let's be frank about it, the blast approach, and I'm sure you've done this because most recruiters have, looks like this. You've got a vacancy to fill, or it's been a while since you've been in touch with your database, or you've read something from me, or you've listened to a podcast, and you decide to send something out. And generally, you go in hard. It's very pitch heavy. It's aimed at the people who are ready to act now. And that's not all of them. And everyone else, they don't hear from you until they're really already talking to somebody else. So here's the thing. At any one time, and I know this is a pain in the neck, but it's true, at any one time, there's only 3 to 7% of your market that's actually ready to buy. That's it. So if every email you send is an attempt to convert someone who's ready right now, you're completely ignoring the other 93%. And that 93% will become ready eventually. They will. The question is, will they remember you when they actually do? Because here's the thing, the campaign approach is completely different. It's a planned sequence, it's consistent, and it's built around content that's genuinely useful to your audience. So you're staying visible, you're building trust with the people who aren't ready yet, and when they are ready, you're the obvious choice. I'll give you a number that really brings this to life. So segmented email campaigns can generate, now this figure's amazing, isn't it? 760% more revenue than unsegmented ones. Now, that's from Campaign Monitor, really well-known, respected email system and platform and company. Not a small difference. That's the difference between a database that works for you and one that just sits there doing absolutely nothing. So why does email still win? Now, I know some of you have probably heard people say, oh, email's dying. It's all about social media is where it's at, and social media really important. I just want to put that to rest right now. Email will deliver £46, let's just say £46, $46 for every pound spent. That's the average. Done well, it's considerably higher. 91% of B2B marketers say that email is critical to the strategy. Not just useful, but absolutely critical. And for recruiters specifically, this is amazing. The average open rate is over 30%, which is high. The general average across other industries is about 20%. So your emails, when they're relevant and well written, are already not AI slop. So well written, AI is great, but it needs to be managed. When they're well written, are already more likely to be open than most other sectors. So while everyone's focused on the LinkedIn engagement drop-in or the latest social media algorithm change, emails quietly working away, doing the heavy lifting, as they say, in the background, because it's going to outperform social media when it comes to ROI. It outperforms paid advertising even, and it's going to give you something that no social media platform can ever give you. Now, I'm not dissing social media because I'm a big fan of social media. It takes you from being totally non-existent to clients and candidates to people being aware of you. But what it does is it gives you a direct, uninterrupted line to somebody's inbox. Now, just think about that for a second. So when somebody opens your email, it's just you and them. There's no algorithm deciding whether they see it or not. No competitors' post appearing right next to yours. That's incredibly powerful when you use it well. And of course, here's the thing, as a recruiter, you've got that dual advantage. Because here's where it gets really interesting for recruiters, and it's something I think most businesses completely overlook, that most B2B businesses have one audience. So we have one audience, and that's our recruitment business owner audience. You could say we have marketeers as well, but we tend to work in the micro area and small SMEs. You have two. You've got clients, the hiring managers, business owners who need great people, building teams. And you've got candidates, those professionals, those job seekers, they're looking for the next opportunity. So email and messenger campaigns lets you nurture both at the same time with content that's tailored to each. So for your clients, that might be salary guides. That also might be something that you can use with your candidates as well. It could be your hiring trends for your particular sector, thought leadership on talent challenges they're facing. It's content that positions you as the expert they want in their corner when they need to hire. And for your candidates, it might be job alerts and career development tips, those salary surveys, salary benchmarking, sector news that's relevant to their specialism. It's content that keeps them engaged, coming back to you as a recruiter that cares rather than going anywhere else. So you've got two audiences, two content streams, one system. That really is a competitive advantage. And most of your competitors aren't doing this. They're either not emailing at all, or they're sending a message to everyone, or they're sending blasts, which we've already talked about, isn't going to cut it, particularly not anymore. So what separates then getting results from crickets from radio silence. Let's talk about what can actually make a difference, because most business owners most recruiters have a database, really good at creating databases. The challenge is very few use it consistently and strategically. So let me share with you 5 habits that I see in the campaigns that are working now. And the first one is 1 email, 1 message, 1 call to action. Don't try to say everything in every send. 1 clear ask every time. That discipline alone will improve your results. Absolutely. Number 2, secondly, send from a named person. A named sender, this is fascinating, isn't it? Generates 27% higher open rates than a company inbox. People open emails from people, not from brands, particularly in a relationship-focused industry, which obviously, of course, recruitment is. B2B marketing, very relationship-focused. B2C, not so much. I am buying some new summer clothes, and in my personal email inbox, I am opening brands rather than individual people, though some of them obviously email individually, but that's very different. Now, when it comes to other things that I might be looking at, like a service for us as a consultancy firm, then I am looking for that individual who sends me an email. Really important. It's all around that psychology of what's important to people. Because it does fascinate me that people still send emails from info at or hello at. We send from support at, but every single email you receive will be from Denise Oyston at support at. So just remember that. And I appreciate if you're MD of a company and you don't want everything coming to your inbox, just create another email with an additional letter in it. So rather than it being just Laura, it's Laura S or whatever. And that's the email that you use for your email system. It will, honestly, it's a game changer. Third is segment your list. So clients and candidates always get separate campaigns. The right content to the right audience. If you're sending the same email to everyone, you're speaking to no one. And of course, you can, if you really want to get really super duper, then you can segment even more. So it could be down to people that you haven't contacted for a while. It could be past clients, all of these different things. And one of the things we do for our clients in Superfast Circle is we provide multiple campaigns that speak to all their different subsectors, all their different segments in the list. So we save them hours of time being able to do that. That is something you can do yourself as well. So just think about that. Who am I sending this email to? Should I be having a segmented list? Fourth, it's like keep a consistent cadence. I know we keep talking about campaigns and we talk about consistency all the time. You know, one email will not build a pipeline because some people probably won't even see it. I would say easily, for those of you that don't send very much, start at fortnightly. Every 14 days at a minimum, because that's what you want to stay front of mind. I know some of you are probably thinking, I don't have time to write that much content. Obviously, that's what we build and we can help you with. And with the tools that are currently available, some of the AI tools can help you create emails in a different way. Obviously, you need to edit them, but they will save you hours of time. And the fifth thing around campaigns is really to coordinate it with LinkedIn. So email and messenger outreach that mirrors what you're posting on LinkedIn. Literally, it will amplify and compound your results. So you're appearing in multiple places. You're reinforcing the message. You're building the same trust. It's really seeing compounding in action. Often, have you ever had that experience where you see an advert on TV and then you hear it on the radio, and then you maybe see it somewhere else and you just think, oh, maybe we need to look at that. We need to look at that because these people are all over the place. And the numbers back this up completely properly, segmented campaigns can generate, as I mentioned earlier, that crazy figure of 760% more revenue. Personalized subject lines, they drive higher open rates, 26 to 50%. That's huge. Higher open rates. These aren't tiny, teeny, weeny gains. These are marginal gains. They're transformational when you apply them consistently. So what are the results you can expect? So before I wrap up, I want to share some benchmarks because I think they're really important when it comes to giving you some context here. So here's another bit of data for you. 79%, so approaching 80% of leads never convert without nurturing. So just think about that. So nearly 4 out of 5 potential opportunities that you get are lost if you're not following up and staying in touch. An email is the way to follow up and stay in touch consistently. There is an enormous amount of business going to someone else by default if you are not emailing and nurturing. Nurtured contacts, I've already said, produce 50% more sales ready leads, and they actually spend 47% more when they do buy. And that is a compounding effect of consistent, valuable communication. For recruitment email sequences specifically, well-run campaigns do get amazing open rates. You're looking at 35 to 45% open rate, which is huge. This is well above the industry average when it comes to B2B marketing. So your welcome email, first email someone gets from you, generates 4 times more opens and 10 times more clicks than a standard send. That first impression matters enormously. And the question is, are you really making the most of it? So all this information I've just given you, I want to be practical here because information on its own rarely moves the needle. Action does. And I'd encourage you to start with a few things. So the first is audit. What are you currently doing? Now, you don't need to tell me. Be honest with yourself. Are you sending one-off blasts when the mood takes you, or it's the first of the month? Or do you have a planned campaign sequence that runs consistently, that maybe you drop people in? You get a new connection, you say, can I send you this particular piece of information? And you drop them, you tag them, you drop them into a campaign. Most recruiters, that they're in blast mode, and if that's you, fine, you know where you're starting. Because knowing where you're starting is the first step. Now, the second is to look at your database. How many of those contacts in your database are not ready yet? That is your biggest untapped opportunity, because campaigns are how you stay visible to them until they are. Thirdly, think about whether you have the system in place to do this consistently. And with the software and technology we have today, it really is probably the easiest time ever to be able to get a system set up and working. Because the thing is, whether you have the system in place to do this consistently, that is where recruiters struggle. And if they tried it in the past, they probably don't realise how easy it is in today's market. I remember when we first started in the market, then very few of the platforms, that the CRM systems that recruiters use, had any form of email capability, whereas now they most certainly do, because that's often where recruiters struggle. And because it's not the intention is usually there. It's the time, the content, knowing what to write, knowing how often to send it, knowing how to segment it properly. And of course, outrageous pitch for Superfast Circle. That is where we can really help you if you want some help. I mentioned it before. We've been working on a new program. It's called the Catalyst System, and it has email and messenger marketing as one of the core modules. And we provide the content for you that just needs a bit of tweaking. We have even got all the AI prompts, so you just have to put a few things in, and it literally will spit it out for you and your market exactly for who you are and who you're serving. I'm not going to go into it into detail today, but if you're listening to this and thinking, thinking, oh, this is exactly what I need, then keep an ear out, because we'll be telling you more about that, or just drop us an email and get in touch with us and we'll tell you more about it. So just wrapping this up, bringing it all together. Email is not dead at all. In fact, my experience is it's getting better. It's not declining. Still the highest ROI channel available to you. And most of your competitors aren't using it particularly well. So the shift from blasting emails saying, have you got a job? Literally just talking, have you got a job? Or would you like this job? You're just literally skimming the surface. So campaigns are where the real opportunity is, and it's not as complicated as it sounds when you've got the right system in place. So hope that's been useful. If you've got any questions at all, you know where to find us. Drop us an email, find us on LinkedIn. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoy this podcast and this year you are ready to take your marketing to the next level, then check out Superfast Circle. This is a unique marketing program designed specifically for recruiters and their marketeers. You get access to 2 virtual marketing directors, you get consultancy, you get your hand held through the whole process, training, consulting, and we provide content resources. So go over to superfastrecruitment.co.uk /join and check out what's available.